Hello, welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. I'm Joe, and every Wednesday I do whisky video reviews for your pleasure and for mine. And also in the hopes that you'll kind of expand your whisky horizons and maybe buy a bottle that you wouldn't necessarily have bought, and just kind of keep on the discovery of great whiskies along the way. This week I'm going to be reviewing a blended whisky. A couple of weeks ago I was very fortunate to take part in a Twitter tasting put on by thewhiskywire.com. You should definitely check out this website. I'll put a link in the description. The guy Steve, who runs the website, he does whisky reviews, he has interviews with distilleries, interviews with kind of business owners, shop owners, all to do with the whisky and spirits industry. And as I say, every kind of twice a month or so, he puts on these tweet tastings where you get to sample in your house a variety of whiskies from kind of set distilleries or set brands. A couple of weeks ago it was the Wemyss malt, and this is a 12-year-old blended Scotch malt whisky. Pour a bit of it. A lot of people ask me actually, what is a blended whisky? Well, a blended whisky is where they've got whiskies from a variety of distilleries, could be up to about 60 distilleries, chosen little bits of whisky from each of the distilleries, blended them all together, put them in a barrel, aged them, or maybe not aged them, and then created a whisky that's completely unique in its style. A lot of people also say, are blends worse than single malt? I think a lot of people think blends are bad. Not the case at all. You can get some absolutely fantastic blends, such as the Wemyss blend. Also you can get some very kind of, bad single malts. So, blends does not equal bad. Blends equals really, really, really good in some cases. So the Wemyss malt, The Hive, it's 12-year-old blended Scotch, which means, Scotch malt whisky, which means I've only used single malt whisky in this. If you see on a bottle, if it says blended Scotch whisky, it'll mean they've used single malt and grain whiskies as well. So this is a blended malt. Some people also refer to it as a vatted malt, so look out for that as well. So let's give it a nose. Okay, I mean, as the nose suggests, as the name suggests, sorry, it's got that kind of very kind of honeyed, sweet element to the nose. Kind of flapjacky, very slightly spicy as well, kind of like a dusting of cinnamon. At the very, very, very back of the nose as well, you get like a very, very slight hint of peat. Very, very slightly. But yeah, I mean, kind of rich sherry. I think they've used fresh and refill sherry casks to age this whisky. So you do get kind of that sherried element to it. Also, another tip for you when you're smelling a whisky is put your hand on the lid, hand on the glass like that, stir it round. What that does, it releases the kind of aromas into the glass, but your hand traps the aromas, and then when you come to smell it, all the aromas come straight out at you. So let's have a little bit of a taste. Now, the taste on that, it's got that real kind of sweet honeyness to it, as the nose suggests. You can taste that kind of sherry elements coming through. I think most of this is a kind of come from Speyside distilleries, so you get that kind of crisp, really kind of fruity sherryness to it. And at the very, very back, at the very finish of the whisky, you get kind of a quite chilly, spicy kick. So it's called The Hive, and it does sting your palate. Yeah, really, really nice chilly kick. I mean, it's been bottled at 40%, but because of that kind of chilly kick at the very end, it tastes like it should be a little bit stronger. So really, really good value for money. I think this is, again, you can get this for around about £30 to £35 a bottle. So definitely recommend checking out that. It's the Wemyss Malt blended 12-year-old The Hive whisky. I'll put a link in the description. And next week I'm going to be reviewing the Ardbeg Day special release bottling. Been wanting to review this for ages, so stick around next week for that. Cheers.